Good morning, folks. It's good to be here. And let me start also by thanking Misha, the chairman, Danine, for bringing me here. You know, SATI, to you members, is part of the Agricultural Business Chamber of South Africa, AGBIS. And AGBIS spends a lot of time on issues that are related to policy, engaging at NEDLAC on labor issues, engaging on trade-related matters, and a whole range of issues that are related to logistics and the other things. So much of the things that the chairman was raising are some of those that we tend to take to heart on your behalf and try to also advance those at the high level on the policy side. But as part of my job, also working at the presidency, it's always important to come to these gatherings because it's not a one phone call that you get or an experience of a one particular farm, but you also actually get to sit down and get the perspective of what people are feeling and what are some of the things that are being experienced. And the core thing then gets to be what to do about that. And I think the chairman's report was very clear on issues that are related to around logistical matters, the municipalities that are not functioning well, and many other things that put a strain in running your own businesses. And this also dovetails with some of the work that I do at the presidency, because there are many people who ask the question when it was announced that there's a presidential envoy on agriculture and land to say, what is this all about? Is it because there's a foot and mouth disease that we don't seem to be getting hold of, and now the president is creating all of these layers, trying to do something without actually being overtly doing it? And the answer to that is that no. The reason the envoy was appointed is so that we have a better coordination on what we are doing between the Department of Land Reform, the Department of Agriculture, the folks that are in transport, the folks that are in water, as well as those that are in trade and industry, so that there is a sort of a one-stop office within the presidency, and the expectations from his side to me, and also in interactions with the ministers, is that I play then that coordinating role with a couple of people that are assisting us within the presidency side. So a number of points that are coming in here that are affecting the sector, but coming from various streams, is the work that we are supposed to be doing in achieving our work. And the president was also very clear about what he wants to get from the South African agricultural sector. Because he's looking for primarily two things that he would like to see over the next 3 to 5 years. As to whether they will be achieved or not, it's something that we are yet to see. The one thing that he wanted to do is that he wants to still see jobs coming out of this sector. And I know when we talk about jobs, it gets to be a difficult issue because there's rising minimum wage, there's a lot of cost pressures that are coming on family farms. And the jobs that he's talking about is that he says he wants anything between 300 to about 500,000 jobs that could potentially come out of this sector and its value chain. That's quite a lot, because even today as we speak, this sector employs about 960,000 people. So if you are talking about numbers like that, that's quite substantial, and that's a lot of expectations that you are placing onto this sector that is already under pressure. The second thing that he said he wants to see was that he wants to see this sector growing by roughly 30% on a gross value added. This is not the new number. It comes back from some of the work that was done in 2012 by Professor Mohamed Karan and many others that worked on Chapter 6 of the National Development Plan. We have come closer into achieving that work. You've all read reports that are coming out of BFAP that begin to allude to where we are in that journey. The core thing then is about how do we begin to accelerate, at least add part of that. And the other questions that may come from people is say, where is that growth going to come from? We are already farming some of the marginal lands and the areas that we could farm. And then where is the president thinking this growth is actually going to come from? The growth is going to come from new lands that he's envisioning that will come into the market. The 2.5 million hectares of land that so many of us have been writing about is part and parcel of that expansion of the agricultural pie. But the expectations, though, from organizations such as SATI is on those last two slides the chairman was sharing. The one where, Mr. Chairman, you were talking about the bursaries, the training, and many programs that SATI is running. Those are some of the things that we hope then that we could be able to sort of utilize and plug in on the president's expectation and see the growth going forward. But it will also be too much of asking all of this from SATI without actually doing anything to assist then the growers and the industry. And I think some of those things that are coming from your report begin to speak exactly to some of those things that should be done.